Yo, what up? It is the 20th of May 2024, and it is currently 10:57 p.m. on a Tuesday. And now I've got to bolt straight to the shops. It's a good habit of mine, isn't it? No, I definitely... it always happens. It'll be like around midday, close to maybe 2 to 3 p.m., and I'll think, oh, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it now. And then I'll be like, oh, wait, but I'll go do this first. And then that sends into a long enough tangential string of me doing stuff that it ends up getting to this. In fact, I was going to do it like 2 hours ago, or 3 hours ago even, but my phone was at literally 1%, and it kind of needs to be... It needs to be decently charged so that it can last the entire time. So, it was not possible. I mean, ideally I'd have a better setup. I mean, I guess ideally, you know, this wouldn't be using a phone at all, but I don't know, I think that makes it more authentic. But I don't watch these back, so I'm sure there's a lot of moments where it's very, annoying with how shaky I am holding this thing. I don't even know, it's like, I don't know if DS captures, because I know 3DS captures a thing, although it's kind of fallen out now that, 3DS isn't relevant anymore. So now it's very difficult to get your hands on a proper 3DS capture card, especially without, you know, forking over a lot. But I think they've got a thing with hacked 3DSs where it can sort of stream its video output to like a computer. I don't think it's very reliable at the moment, but I don't know if such a thing is for DS. Like, I'm assuming they would have had capture cards, because, you know, the original Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, those could be played on consoles because they had the special adapters, the Game Boy Player and the Super Game Boy. And then the 3DS, like I said, has that new sort of hacking method, which I'm assuming will get better over time. So I think the DS then is in the sort of limbo area. But I'm assuming it has, like, a capture card, like, during its... In fact, I've definitely heard of that before, but, you know, I just don't think that would be very easy to get your hands on. Obviously, there's just emulating the games. Nice effort. You may have won the contest, but your gallant efforts won our hearts. C? Or I guess C? Like, not like a CC, but a... Okay, a C? Yeah, explained very eloquently. Yeah, but, what was I... God damn it. Oh, yeah, like, you know, ideally you just emulate, so then you can just have it on your computer. But, this is my cartridge. I mean, I don't like... I think I've talked about emulation before. I don't have anything against it, particularly, you know, for any game that isn't being sold by the original, like, creator anymore. I don't think it should matter. But my two things are mainly just, I think... Well, my one main thing is when people sort of have this sense of superiority over it. Like, I've seen, you know, videos where people show off their game rooms with all these consoles and games, and then people in the comments will be like, yeah, well, you could just emulate all that. And it's like, well, yeah, of course you could just emulate all that, but the point is to have it. Like, it's so baffling to me that people can't understand the concept of people just, like, wanting things. Like, not everything in your life has to be fully technical and rational, but it's those sorts of very, techie people who always have their little solutions to everything who need to come in and be like, well, you can just do this. And it's like, well, yeah, but I don't want to. If I wanted to do it, I would have done it. You're not some sort of genius, like, saint coming in telling me, like, you know, informing me that emulation is a thing. Hey, do I look okay, Joe Monis? What? I look like a total movie star. Really? Do you mean it? Oh, sorry, see, I thought you said... Never mind. Forget it. I wonder, like, they don't do many celebrity characters. I guess most of the NPCs in Animal Crossing are celebrities to some degree. Although, they don't get celebrity intention. Like Zipper, that's definitely... I mean, I guess he's sort of a mascot, though, so that doesn't really... So I'm assuming that's what it is that, like, you know, a guy in a zipper suit comes to every town. Because, you know, he says, you know, he's in a suit. So I would assume that that's what it is that they get a guy... Like, there's some Easter Bunny Day organization gets a bunch of people to dress up in zipper suits and go to a bunch of different islands and towns and stuff for Bunny Day activities. Maybe there is a real Zipper T Bunny, but you know, he doesn't do any field work like Santa and mall Santas and stuff like that. Well, assuming Santa was real, obviously. Dina Rich from Tree Hut. We're friends. What, really? Are you being serious? Clothes I'm wearing today were designed by Rich. That's so cool. You're friends with a celebrity. I just realized today's not Tuesday. Today's Monday. And I think I threw out the red letter that I needed to get into the Crazy Reds. Wait. Hold on. Did I actually throw it out? I threw both of them out. Oh, well, that was smart. Okay, well, luckily, you can just get it from word of mouth. Which kind of... That always, like... made me wonder what the point of the letters even were, because if you can just get the info from your villages every single time, then there's barely any point. But I'm grateful for it in this instance, since I accidentally threw it out. I just realized, because my brain just made the connection, like, wait, you know, I haven't seen Red this week, like, did I miss him yesterday? Yesterday was Sunday, that's why. Let's see, does Pango have the, deets, as they call them? Oh, see, like, I'm high. I don't know where you're at so this late. Okay. You know that shovel from Rolfton? That kid's a total stylish slob, know what I mean? It's been 56 days since I last saw that character. Hope things are doing well. 50. She's been keeping a calendar of it. I'm kind of impressed. 56 days. Pango's been here for 56 days. The May 19th, 45.3-inch long sea bass. That's ridiculous. And yay days this Sunday. Never hurts to ask unless you ask for hurt. Stupid. You know what? I've seen so many red, you know, visits that, I wonder if I could just guess. Like, if I could just see it and know what the answer is. Because, you know, he's got a limited amount of passwords. Turn back. Turn back. I don't know. Turn back if... Yeah, I don't know. Oh. Is that the answer? You're mumbling, buddy. I just said the letter R. R. Yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, I was talking about emulating stuff. Yeah, like... Yeah, people have that elitist mindset, though, where... Yeah, and I mean, it comes from people who don't understand... Feels like a lack of... Maybe not a lack of empathy, per se, but definitely a lack of, like... you know, ability to understand that people have different interests. I had Crazy Red's password. It's what do you miss? What did you miss? So it's gonna be what did you miss? They say that they say that facing oneself is the sign of a cute man, but facing this flabby belly requires a lot of courage. A cute man? Yeah, that's the thing though, is that like whenever it's basically just in general, whenever people try to like when people are doing something, other people are like, yeah, well, you can do this. It's like, do you think that that's stupid? That's very insulting, for one thing, that you assume that they wouldn't know something so basic. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, what did you miss? And, yeah, like, everyone who collects physical games knows that emulation is a thing. It's like one of the longest passwords. You know, yeah, everyone who gets physical games knows that you can emulate. Like, this, obviously, you know? It's not like that's, like, you know, knowledge that's, only known by, like, a secret society of people. It's pretty common knowledge. And you know what? This week's Crazy Red store is completely hopeless. Is all three of these things they have. And I'm pretty sure that Elephant Slide, I think both of these two items that aren't the painting you can get in the store anyway, so thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot, Red. But, I mean, I get, you could even say that, like, you know, I got a comment that was like, oh, you should be playing City Folk, because that's, like, a better game or whatever. It's like, clearly I don't think that if I'm playing this game. Like, why on earth? Yeah, okay, sorry. I'm 120 days in, 140 days in, and I'm just gonna suddenly switch to a completely different game. I obviously like this game. Why else would I be playing it? Nothing much, just a computer. Okay, Marina, you're giving me a computer? I mean, I don't want it for 1,600 bells, so that's cool. That's cool, maybe next time. I mean, you shouldn't even say what kind of specs it has. Like, what's the, is there a graphics, like, how's the, you know, how much RAM is in it? Is it custom built, or is it just, like, you know, when you get from the... This game came out in 2005, so I'm pretty sure computers... They were still those big, like, you know those are the original computers that were literally as big as, like, a server and a server... I mean, that's what a computer, those computers are, is those big server computers. That's what a computer used to be. It's like one of those computers. I know, where's my mind? I completely spaced on sending that letter. I wrote in everything. Oh, hey, Ginger. Oh, yeah, I forgot that I made say that as my nickname. I need you to take this letter to Hugh for me. So you think you can drop it within 10 minutes, or is it too hard for you? I can do that. Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't... I can't imagine the mind of a person who, upon seeing someone doing something that is a purely preference-based thing, that you would then try and be like, oh, why aren't you doing it this way? I just think that's stupid. And I mean, it's one thing to, like, you know, give advice. Like, in a game, like, sometimes, you know, people, like, won't know all of the, like strategies of a certain game, and people will suggest stuff that they can do to try and improve. That's different. But in this case, I'm talking about stuff where the person, both A, assumes that they know better, and B, because they assume they know better, make you out to look stupid, I guess. Hey Hugh, I write this during one of my walks. It's hard. In my opinion, your skin is screaming for bronzer. The lovely Monique. That was almost as exciting as the time I found a cookie under my bed. Thanks, S-Monkey, and say hi to Monique for me too. I like bacon bits as his catchphrase. It's kind of morbid, but, you know. Yeah. Bacon bits as a concept, like, you know, you've already, like, sliced up the animal, and then you slice up the bits of the animal. Like, that's, you know, that's really getting down to it. So you made it on time? Oh, good, thanks. Well, I guess you deserve a reward anyway. Maybe you like my 5:30 bells. I don't get, like, when they say do it within an hour, how on earth are you not, like, is that even, like, so much time? You'd have to actually just completely forget about it to miss that deadline. There's no other way about it. I mean, unless there was something that important that would take up most of that hour and then you forget afterwards, I really genuinely can't see how, you know, that would happen. So, yeah, I awarded that tulip. Alright, so I just need to talk to, after I talk to Peewee, it'll just be Antonio. As always, Antonio is the last one, because he lives on the other side of town. You think I'd look good in a graduate? Oh my god, Peewee. I just got rid of the graduation gown I got yesterday because I thought you didn't want it anymore. And then now the stores are closed, so I can't even order another one. Bugger off, Peewee. Go get your own stinking graduation gown. Go graduate on your own time. People probably graduated like 30 years ago. Like like business and communication, which is like the two most basic things you can get if you go to university or college or whatever. I mean, it's probably a good enough idea in the sense of, you know, turning it into a career, I guess. But you won't sound very unique. I mean, that's the thing, though, is that, you know, oh yeah, this is meant to be here. It's at university, it's like, because, you know, all the prices that are involved, it's not very viable to do it just for the sake of learning stuff. Like, if you don't get, oh wait, just announced, a film with a production cost of $20 billion? That's $20 billion and an all-star cast coming soon. I'm pretty sure the biggest budget for a movie might have been almost $1 billion. Let me just look. I actually am curious. Highest movie budget. Let's see. Star Wars The Force Awakens had a $447 million budget. Wait, that says a net budget. What is a net budget? Huh. So yeah, $447 million is, you know, what, like, not even half of a billion. So it's not even 50% of 1/20th of that amount of money. So, I mean, I just think the economy in the Animal Crossing world must be completely buggered if that's what's happening. That said dollars too, didn't it? Yeah. See, this is a thing, and it's only a theory of mine, but I don't remember if it's this game, in one Animal Crossing game. It might even be the first one, actually. In the, like, opening bit, Nook will, like, be talking to you about paying for, like, your debt and bring up bells, and I'm pretty sure there's a dialogue option that essentially says, like, what are bells? You know, as if to imply this person who's just moved into a town, presumably independent enough to know what money is, somehow doesn't know what bells are, which are a currency, implies that there is, like, you know, bells are it isn't just bells in this universe. There are, like, multiple types of currency. Which, I mean, makes sense, I guess, but I don't know, it's just weird to think about, because the idea that there's, like, more to the Animal Crossing world outside of the tiny little towns, or I guess the tiny little town, because, you know, I guess the other towns aren't supposed to be, like, canonical. I don't know how that would work, actually. That's kind of what's tricky about it, is that, like, oh yeah, there's, you know, some basis of, like, canon and stuff, except you can go to another town and Tom Nook is in that shop as well, even though, how does that work? Obviously, it's not very well thought out, in that sense. But it's interesting to think about. I've always liked the idea that there's some sort of, like, animals. So it's kind of, I guess, like in an Undertale sort of fashion, where animals in this world are sort of shunned by humans, and that's why they reside in their own little towns, and that's why you're the only human in any of these games. But I don't know. That's just a thing. I just think that's an interesting idea. Bugs are sensitive to sound, so if you're stalking one, hold the net up and approach the beast slowly, carefully, closer than... Well, bam! That's how I do my thing. I'm the ultimate bug monster. If you see Scorpion and Tarantula, put your net away quick. Those guys will attack anything carrying a net. You know, the way he talks there, it implies that you can do the thing you can do in the other Animal Crossing games, where you can hold A and sneak using your net, but you can't do that in this game. I wonder if that was originally going to be in this game, but then they somehow couldn't figure it out, and then they just gave up and didn't put it in this one. Because it does strike me as odd that that isn't in this game, because I thought that would be like, oh, because it wasn't in the original. But it is in the original. So I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, back to my little theory. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just think that the idea kind of makes sense. Because, like, you'd expect there to be at least one more human, or, like, any human villagers who can move in. I mean, that's the thing, is that, like, this is a similar thing with, like, what I was talking about at the beginning, with people coming in and acting all smart. Like, obviously, I know that it's a gameplay purpose. From the you being a human character, it gives a contrast between you and the animal characters, and it sort of grounds you as, like, a person, while sort of mystifying everything around you, that you're the only normal part, or, like, you're the fish out of water in what is, like, a town filled with animals, which is, a strange situation. And that's, it's just sort of an artistic, or maybe not an artistic, I guess sort of, yeah, an artistic decision that isn't meant to have, like, lore implications. And trust me, I don't usually like the idea of, like, going all hyper, like, deep into all of, like, lore into everything, because sometimes I think, people overdo it a little bit, and that some things don't warrant having these sorts of lore discussions because there's so little thought put into it. But I just think there's so much left open to interpretation in these games in terms of, like, how the world works, that I don't know, I just think that makes it interesting. And it's not something I obsess over, it's just something I think about from time to time. I mean, there's even a big contrast between, city life and, oh, Harriet's here. City life and this more village aesthetic, like the, village aesthetic, that's not the right word. Rural kind of living, which I think might be, linked to it. Like, maybe the animals live here because they want to live sort of rurally and more in nature, whereas the humans, went all industrial and started building cities, and, the animals don't, I guess, mesh with that well. But I guess that is kind of debunked a bit by city folk. But the city in city folk is not, like, that's not a big city. Like, it's not huge compared to, Tokyo, all those big, huge cities in real life. Anyway, care for a cup of joe to pick you up? It's 200 bells. What plan would you like? Usual? Whatever you say. Then up comes one copy of your favorite blend spoon. There we go, with the perfect temperature to bring out the flavor. 176 degrees. One fresh brewed cup. Drink up. Thanks. I will. Acid, bitterness, and boldness, all balanced in perfect harmony. Thanks. I'm pretty sure the only time they did, like, more than one human character... I mean, I guess in these games you can have more than one if you do multiple players in the same town. But at least in terms of something that's, like, deliberately... shown off to specifically have more than one human. The Animal Crossing, like, I don't know if it counts as a movie, but I think people call it that. It's like an anime. It might be an OVA, actually, which is like, I think people usually reserve that for things that are, like, made in Japan, that are basically just, like, sort of like movies, but not movie length and not movie budget. It's just an animation of Animal Crossing, like an official thing that's, like, maybe an hour long, and it has the perspective of one human character who moves into a town with a bunch of animals, but there is actually one other human, I'm pretty sure, in that town. So, yeah, I don't know, it's just interesting to think about. I wouldn't treat it too seriously, though, but I'm sure, knowing the internet, some people probably already have. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today. Yeah, hopefully play a bit earlier tomorrow.